Hey everyone, how's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, I'm actually still working on that GMC or Chevy van, whatever this thing is, the one I fixed the O2 sensors on. It had a bunch of codes in it. One code happened to be multiple cylinder misfire and a cylinder number 4 misfire. However, when you're dealing with O2 codes, you want to fix stuff like that first and then go back and see what else crops up, because you don't want to just start chasing a whole bunch of different codes, because fixing those O2 sensors could have fixed everything. It's possible. Right now, the only code I got coming back is a cylinder number 4 misfire. One thing too is you can actually feel it when it starts happening. Once you get it hot, you're at a traffic light or whatever, all of a sudden you'll feel stuff like that. And you can actually watch it on the scanner. So that was Friday, today's Monday. I had it sitting in the shop, so I just took the doghouse off, and then, you got to take the driver's or passenger seat out to get the doghouse out of these things, or at least to get them out and work comfortably, I should say. Some people can get those doghouses off. I don't even bother fighting. I just take the seat out. It's 4 nuts, comes right out. But let me show you something real quick. All right. So here, cylinder 4 is this right here. Now this thing also had lean codes, but it's not setting any lean codes right now. However, if you look, see that vacuum line? It's resting dead up against there. Oops, sorry. These things have these vacuum wires for the HVAC system that just sit willy-nilly. But if you look on the underside of it, see how it's all burnt up and it's all messed up? I have actually seen where a vacuum hose going across an ignition wire can actually suck the coil, or suck the spark out of the ignition wire. I know it sounds strange, but I've seen it. I'd be willing to bet this wire is ruined. I'm going to, yeah, I wouldn't trust that at all. We're going to be putting a set of wires on this. I'm also going to pull the plug out and take a look, and I'm also going to fix that vacuum hose there. Runs from the intake. That could have set lean codes. It's very possible. Like I said, right now I'm not getting anything lean code related, and I took it for a pretty good ride on Friday. Let's see. So we're going to get a set of wires for this, a set of plugs for this. Actually, I'm going to pull the plugs out and take a look at them, but I want to see what that one looks like, and I'm going to do a thorough investigation of the wire once I get it out of the way. One other thing I wanted to show you is when you pull the seats out of these things, you have these studs here that stick through the floor. Imagine putting your rib cage into that. Here's the reason I have these pieces of foam block. See that? Because as you're leaning over the step to go inside of it, you're going to put your rib cage into that thing, or your arm, or your leg, or your hip, or whatever, and it'll absolutely hurt, let me tell you. So I put these down, these foam blocks. These came, they were shipping material with, I believe, a headlight assembly, something like 15 years ago, that I changed on a car. And I was like, you know what, this is some good, nice, thick foam. So I was just going to hold on to it. And as you can see from the different marks on it, I've used it like that ever since. Eventually it broke. This was all one piece. Eventually it broke. But yeah, let me start pulling a plug out, and I'm going to show you what I got there. We got a big problem. As soon as I put the socket on this thing to break it free, I was like, something don't feel right. And it was super, super tight. And it went about 4 turns, and then the socket, the spark plug started wobbling. So I was like, something ain't right there. Somebody cross-threaded this thing going in. That's it. This spark plug was never fully seated. Somebody cross-threaded it in place. How much you want to bet it was the same people that did the repair on the O2 sensor? Now what? Now this just turned into a nightmare. Okay, let me show you the wire too real quick. The wire was actually too close to the exhaust. This is the underside of the plug boot. This is like right up against the manifold. So spark was jumping through there. That's the reason for the white ashen look to it. And you can see how it's bent too. None of these are bent. They're all straight. So yeah, whoever did the work on this had no clue what they were doing. None. So now I got to try to figure out, how am I going to fix this? Cool. And of course, that's not in a good spot. That's in a terrible spot, because you have the opening, the lip of the opening for the doghouse. The doghouse is the cover for the engine. You have the lip of the opening for the doghouse kind of in your way. So now what? See that? The hole's down there, but you got that big, large raised edge to deal with. All right, let me run this by Rob, and we're going to go from there and figure out what we're going to do. I'm going to probably try to rethread that and see what happens. Hopefully it didn't booger all the threads up, but we're about to find out. And the hits keep coming. So, cylinder number 2, I can't get the spark plug out. Not at all. Check this out. So if we look down there, you can actually see that's cylinder number 2. I don't know what all that stuff is. I don't know if they Loctited it in place, but what happened was I tried to take the plug out, and it's almost like the plug is too far into the head. It really has me concerned. It's like the spark plug might be too far into the head, but I see all that orange stuff. I was able to get onto it and start turning it, and it turned about a turn and a half and came to a complete stop. And I mean, and I'm trying, and it will not come out. And I'm like, I am not about to snap this thing off in the head. So then I come to this side. Everything went well on this side, but one of the spark plugs kind of freaked me out a little bit. It's this one. Oops. See how worn the ground strap is? I think this is an original plug. And the funny thing is, this is the easiest plug to do on this entire vehicle. You can get to it from under the hood. It's a number 1 plug. Very simple to get to. I think this is an original plug. Really? Whoever you are, please, 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 just walk away. Stop working on cars. I hate stuff like this. It gives mechanics a bad name. It really does. Because you get somebody like that who claims to be a mechanic and obviously knows nothing. Knows absolutely nothing. So, what do you do? All right. So, what's the next step? The only thing we can do is pull that head off, because I am not about to try to get that plug out right there, because then I can't, it's going to be such a nightmare to try to even rethread it. At this point, I'd rather have the head off and have it in front of me and try to work with it, but I got a funny feeling we're going to be getting a cylinder head for this. So stay tuned and look for an update on this one. All right, guys, hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, have a great day. Keep wrenching.